Rippy back over at Young's Dairy, Saturday, August 24th. This is the Orphan Car Show, and the Orphan Car Show is for the companies that went out of business, but it's still in the morning. The crowd's not here yet, but Young's Dairy, they've been in business 150 years. They recently celebrated this summer 150 years in business, which will put it back into the 1860s. It began as a farm. So does that even predate the Civil War? So they didn't get their land when they came back from the war. There's the fiberglass Jersey dairy cow in the sky, the sightseer plane. There's the original ice cream stand. The cars are showing up as we're standing here. There's 7 rows of them currently. There's a sign over there for the boat race. This is a Studebaker Lark, you think? And in a two-tone, a president, okay? I saw a tractor talking about Young. Oh no, it was Long. There was a tractor called a Long, but it looked just like a farmall over at the Portland show. That looks like a car that Antique Archaeology uses at Nash, kind of a teardrop looking automobile. Yeah, not gonna be able to do this all in one video like I kind of wanted. I am here. There's not a lot of people here, which is pretty cool for the camera. And a gazillion things to do around here. Another thing about Indiana, I was talking, and I went by it wasn't a military school today, but wow, just a teeny-tiny engine in this guy. 1.5. And my mom's boyfriend had one of them new, and he sold it because it wouldn't go anywhere. It'd get stuck everywhere it went. All the old dirt roads and snow back in, he couldn't rely on it for transportation. It wasn't designed for America. Too small of a car, the 12-inch wheel. They went out of business. But you don't see military schools anymore, and there's an obsolete, it's a Shriner's home they call it now. Jeep's still in business. Why is this guy here? Because it's a Willys? I don't know. AMC's out of business, that's why, and it's an AMC Jeep. So yeah, these big, where there was the, that's a butterscotch color there. They were seeing who could build the biggest church, and I didn't. Oh, what a beautiful brown and saddle interior there, and the prism dash, how they did. And back here, this gas cap's about $300 on eBay. More of a demon looking thing. Rebel and Gremlin. So I wonder why it says 6.6 liter. But it's showing Mesa, Arizona. Right there. And then, but this military school in Indiana is going out of business after 135 years. And that's what this is about. Going out of business. And, 6.6 liter.
This is yours here?
So that's like a 390?
This one and that. Oh, this one and it.
I don't believe it.
You're a Rambo fan, huh?
Anyway.
Yeah, that's why don't you get one of those?
The Koch brother died. Check out the tape he's got on his air valves. He doesn't have, he removed,
I was dreaming.
they're reinstalling a new air conditioning system.
It was like $3,600.
So it's under construction coming back from Arizona. There's a line over there. It's got a ways to go. Almost an aftermarket AC.
How much did you have to fix this one up?
So the Howe and Howe, H-O-W-E, Howe Military Academy. This is their last year. The Koch brothers are billionaires, so they don't show their biography at times, but the Koch brothers attended Howe Military School over in Indiana. And in their current, because David just passed away, that this has several private high schools. And I'm not sure if he was a cadet from the school, the academy, but an old lawyer friend of our family attended there also, and he would have been the same age. And he's so old that I didn't ask him before he passed away about the Koch brothers. Better things to talk about. And my parents thought about putting me in military school. Sure did. And I have my family watching my videos now. They've told me. I told them I thought it was perverted. I didn't want them watching, but... So this looks like a drag car. And yeah, that's the 390, which would be a 6.6. In that ballpark. American Motors. The 390. In a Hearst edition. That seems awful early of a car to have a Hearst, but yeah. They were actually taking another name and adding it, like a Levi's Jeep, a Eddie Bauer Bronco, see what I mean, for branding. That was the beginning of that. The bikers going north, I mean, yeah, there is, I mean, I'm not even exaggerating when I said there's tons of things to do. So this looks like a Gremlin body, but it's a later automobile by American Motors, and they called it the Spirit. But you can see the Gremlin in it. And they removed the demon from the back. It's the Gremlin automobile at a newer model with the Gremlin taken off. And that's an original car as far as just shooting from the hip, from what I'm seeing. That's a unrestored automobile right there. A beautiful, the Sterling Marlin, I call them. Sterling Marlin was back over at Shady Bowl this year, as far as I know, and Michael Waltrip was too. We just can't do everything, and I don't think I want to make it to Auburn, and that is the place to be. The place to be is Auburn on Labor Day. I just don't see it happening. I can't be at two places at one time. Yeah, this is an original 17,000 mile car is what it is. Well respected 1981 Orphan car. It's either Paul Young or Bob Young. A 69 Hearst. He's got on the vanity plate. Special car there. You'll never see another one, I don't think. Red, white, and blue for the 1976, do you think? No, 1969. But in a patriotic color scheme. And this one's the red and white one, like your high school colors. Beautiful red and white 63 Rambler wagon, American. So yeah, the color scheme would be patriotic too, with the name American. Now this one looks almost like the butterscotch one, but in more of a burnt brick with the 258. That was like the Mustang. You could get, you know, the 700 horsepower engine today, 200 mile an hour out of the box, or you can get the 4-cylinder. But it's still a Mustang, either one. And that one had a 6.6 for some crazy reason. And this one has a 258 slant. But it's not a 4-cylinder, it's a 6-cylinder compared to the butterscotch one and the burnt brick one, but it has the X, and I suppose that's an interior package. They've got the seat propped up, just oil all down the side of the engine like you would see. You do the plugs and the cap and the wires on these every year. They'd never start, they'd stall. Very undependable cars back in the day, just like the rest of the junk Americans were putting out. And then Obama went and bailed out Lone General Motors after they stiffed all their shareholders and went bankrupt. The government, they call it Government Motors. the government choose to let General Motors continue their charade, and they were just looking to break one off in someone, and they still are, basically. The auto industry, they want you to slave your life away so you can buy a new car off of them. And in General Motors case, they were selling you junk, and these guys were too, especially at that time period. Very undependable cars, unsafe as heck. No wonder they brought up the safety belt law. But yeah, I'm kind of new to this car. I'm not really getting what's going on at AMC Alliance. So there's a lot to learn on that one car there alone, I would say, with the 1.4. Some sort of race car. Yeah, the beautiful alfalfa out there again. Here at Young's Dairy, guys. We're going over to the bigger part of the show now. Thanks for watching my videos. Rest in peace, David Koch, I'm sorry. And yeah, rest in peace, Howe Military Academy in Howe, Indiana. After 135 years, you just wonder what's going on, and 135, 150 years is just a blink of an eye in the big picture.